Well, Jimmy took a little break last week because I had some technical difficulties, so we're back with two songs to make up for it, and it's actually the same song but twice, two different versions. Let's go. Hi guys, welcome to Lee Reacts. Hope everyone's having a good day. I know I am. Welcome to our Hendrix Thursday video of the week. This is presented to you by our patron Dimitri. As always, thank you Dimitri for your support. I appreciate you. He requested the Crash Landing version of Peace in Mississippi, and it's only like 4 minutes long, and I wanted to hear, I guess, the original one, even though it's kind of edited, apparently, too. So I did that one as well. That one, it's live, though, I think. It's live. Oh, no, actually, it's in the studio. It just, I don't know why it says that. TTG Studios, Hollywood, California, October 24th, 1968. And then Crash Landing, instead of Noel and Mitch, it's someone, I guess other people overdubbed their parts. And it came out, I think, in 75, which is a few years after Jimmy passed, obviously. So I'm still finding all these new albums that I didn't know existed, basically, of, all these. He had so many different little recordings of different stuff. And they, it's cool that they kept his memory alive even though he passed on. So don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. We do this every Thursday around 12 p.m. If you want to come hang out in the chat, we'd love to have you. Eastern Standard Time. All right, here we go. First up, the longer version, and then Crash Landing version. Peace in Mississippi. Jimi Hendrix, 3, 2, 1, go. Like the video. His use of distortion is just exquisite. Here's your comment of the day. Where was Jimi Hendrix born? The first person to comment, I'll pin your comment. Noel's killing it too, man. That's such a sick riff. Not done yet. That is wild. What a sick instrumental. Oh, that is disgusting, bro. Come on. Wow. Insanity. That's probably just his warm-up. That sound is disgusting, bro. Feedback into distortion is insane. Wow, I'm kind of stunned, bro. I don't know how, but I'm stunned, man. That was fucking nuts. Houston, Mississippi from Crash Landing. This one's like half the runtime of the first one. that bass is killing it too. It is so different. I gotta find out who that is. That's Bob Babbitt on the bass, my man. Alan Schwartzberg on drums. Interesting. I liked certain parts of that, like, little additions better. But I'd say the first one was the stronger version of it. But I do like the a little effects and the little extra things they threw in, like that little extra guitar lick that kept playing off of Jimmy. Basically, I thought that was really cool. And the little deviations, and it's almost like it's a condensed version, but it sounds almost completely different at points. It's crazy how the same song can sound so different. It's performed by different people, like, well, at least two of them are different. But I think the one with Mitch and Noel is a more refined version. The second one, it almost felt like a rough cut of just like stuff put together, but it sounded great, but anyway, I saw that there's a controversy tab. Okay, so Crash Landing was the first release produced by Douglas and immediately caused controversy. The liner notes of the album indicated that Douglas used several session musicians, none of whom had ever met Hendrix, to re-record or overdub guitar, bass, drums, and percussion on the album, erasing the contributions of original musicians and changing the feel of the songs. You definitely could feel the difference in the second one. Yeah, you definitely could. And then apparently Hendrix's vocals and guitar contributions were retained, but that was it. This was evidently done to give a finish to songs that were in works or in progress or may have been recorded as demos, even though we just listened to a version that wasn't a demo, so whatever. The album peaked at number 5 in the U.S. and 35 in the U.K., the highest position since The Cry of Love. The album reached number 5 in Canada. Interesting. They're all written by Jimi Hendrix, the songs on the album. Alan Douglas claimed co-writer credits on Somewhere Over the Rainbow, Crash Landing, Come Down Hard on Me, Peace in Mississippi, and Captain Coconut on the original release. And then most of the releases nowadays omit Douglas's writing credits. So I'm glad to hear that. I don't know who this guy is. Let me see. Alan Douglas. American record producer from Boston who worked with Jimi Hendrix, Miles Davis, John McLaughlin, Lenny Bruce, and The Last Poets. He ran his own record label, Douglas Records. Interesting. Well, I'm glad that I put the two together because it makes more sense when you hear both of them and you know like the differences and what the story is behind it. It is a totally different feel in the second one. It almost felt a little more trippier in a way, like a little more like they were going for what the idea of Hendrix was almost, but then the first one was more bluesy and straight up, almost like a traditional, Hendrix instrumental, just him going crazy, basically. Noel backing him up and Mitch just basically keeping time, and they just go crazy on that. They just go off. But then that second one with Schwartzberg and Bob Babbitt on bass, like the bass contributions, I think were still sick. It wasn't as good as Noel's though. They were a little more pronounced in the mix, I'd say. The distortion and the reverb, just everything that Jimmy was playing with in that first track was insane, man. Like some of the sounds he was getting paired with Noel's bass was just incredible, man. Some of the most guttural and just gives you that stank face like sounds I've ever heard in my life, man. He was just a wizard with the guitar and anything involved with it. The amp, just the plug in general, man. Like he just knew every last little bit of his gear, and he was very wise in how to use things to make different sounds and create these textures within the sound almost before we had all this stuff nowadays where you can at a click of a button add an effect or do this or do that. Jimmy had to analog it and just manually do it, and he came up with some of the most interesting sounds I've ever heard. Like he really did just with a guitar and an amp, and then the bass and the drums. Sometimes he adds his voice to it too, and it's just some of the most unique music I've ever heard. There's a lot of people that seemed to copy him in a way afterwards, even though he was lightning in a bottle, but he took all the great stuff that came before him and then kind of just shoved it through a Jimmy filter, and now we have the Hendrix we know now. But there's a lot of imitators that came after him, it seemed like, and a lot of them are good, but they're just nowhere near the level that Hendrix was as a creative, force, I feel like, because he wasn't just a guitarist. Like, he was a writer, a creative, an artist. Like, oh my God, listen to Electric Ladyland all the way through, like I did, like obviously you probably have if you're watching this video. But like getting through the 1983 suite and stuff like that, like there's no way that a certified artist, genius, whatever you want to call him, did not create that. And listen to the debut album. I mean, everything that he put out, which wasn't that much, he wasn't around for that long in the creative space. Almost everything he put out was a winner. Like that's crazy. Because most bands or artists at least have one track that might take away from their catalog or might be bad. I've yet to hear a bad Hendrix track. There's some, as always, like I say, that I love, and there's some that I enjoy, and there's some that I like. No bad songs up there. I've not heard a bad song yet. That was a banging ass instrumental. The second version, I liked it though. Like it had its parts that I thought were cool. I didn't really like the production on it as much. It wasn't as clean as the first one, but because you had to have a great production on that first one to hear all the interesting and out of this world stuff and techniques that Jimmy was using to get those strange sounds in the first one, but there were, like I said, there were additions to the second one. I like that that lick that he was pairing off with, and the bass was still sick in that song too, but the production was a little lacking, I feel like. But at the same time, you can't really butcher a Hendrix track. If his guitar's in it, you really can't butcher it. So you're set no matter what. I'm kind of interested to hear more from this Crash Landing album though, because if there's controversy around it and they kind of messed with the songs in a way, I kind of want to hear more to see what they did, because I don't know. I don't think they harmed the song in the second one, you know what I'm saying? But I don't think they really... Well, they added a couple things, but they also lost some stuff too, and they condensed it way too much, I think. It could have been a little bit longer, but still a very solid track, I'd say. So thank you, Dimitri. That was a great pick, my friend. That's another awesome Hendrix instrumental I can add to put on whenever I'm jamming out, man. Because I've got like a whole Hendrix playlist, and the songs that I really enjoy, I always add that, and that was banging. So thanks, Dimitri. Thank you guys for watching. As always, that was another wonderful Hendrix Thursday, and I will see you next week, hopefully. If you have any requests or any suggestions, I am open for next week. If you have a song that I've missed, or a video or a live show you think I'd like, leave it in a comment down below, and if I end up picking it, I will credit you as a regular request. See you later.